From the city of brotherly love, this is Shark Bite Biz with David Strausser.
Oops, you did it again. You just arrived to the newest episode of Shark Bite Biz. I'm your rockstar wannabe host, David Strausser, and this is your place to learn how to grow a business during complete global chaos. As always, this episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsor and SAP and Acumatica Gold Partner, Stellar. That's Stellar. Stellar One Consulting. Check them out, stellar1consulting.com. If your business is ready to move on quick, folks, if you're ready to start automating those business processes, give us a call so we can help you out. Help you and your business reach for the stars. Once again, that's stellar1consulting.com. Now let's get back to today's episode. We're going from Zig Ziglar to law. Oh, and you probably just received the legal notice as we spoke. But anyways, we're going to have one of America's top lawyers and legal coaches on this show today. And I'm really proud to have him as a guest because law is something that's one of those danged if you do, danged if you don't type things. It's a thorn in the side, but it is a necessity and it is critically important to each and every business. So, who do we have today? None other than Scott Reib. Scott Reib is known as America's legal coach. He's an official Zig Ziglar small business lawyer, a Ziglar Legacy certified trainer, and has over 20 years of experience as an attorney. For the last 2 decades, Scott has been helping small business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, and service providers to shatterproof their businesses and succeed in the professional world. So, hey, without further delay, let's bring Scott right on in here.
Business strategy.
Scott, welcome to Shark Bite Biz. You, my friend, you just became Shark Bait.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be bait.
Yeah, it is. So, first question we used to ask everybody is, what's your background? What's your experience? What do you do for a living? How'd you get there? Basically, what makes Scott?
I'm a small business lawyer and legal coach in North Texas. I work with service-based professionals, coaches, speakers, and trainers, and help them do what we call build shatterproof businesses, which basically means businesses that will bend and not break.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So how do you achieve that?
Well, you have to use the right systems and structures to build your business, and then you need to be proactive on the legal side of your business, for instance, and have regular conversations with a legal professional so that you're building things and staying in front of things, kind of like a fitness coach, where you're being proactive instead of an emergency room.
Okay. So one of the things you talk about is how to shatterproof your business, and you have 5 strategies about that, okay? What are those 5 strategies to shatterproof a business?
The first strategy is to assemble a team of key professionals. Those professionals, one of them is a lawyer. You need to have a lawyer that understands the entrepreneurial journey and how it works and what you're going through, and so they can help you be proactive with the things that we have to deal with in entrepreneurship. You also need to have a CPA because the way we keep score in business is with money. And you need someone that understands the ins and outs of how to control the cash flow of your money, how to make sure you keep more of your money when they're paying the tax game. And a CPA is the person that can help you set all that up and then help you do it right. The next person you need, and it's money related, is you need a banker. Not a bank. There's a bank on every corner. You need a banker that knows your business. You have them on your cell phone so you can call them if there's a problem. Maybe you need to write a check today and make a deposit tomorrow. And if you don't have a relationship with the banker, then that may be an opportunity that you miss. And so that doesn't happen accidentally, right? You have to be intentional. So you're spending time at the bank, you're taking them coffee, you're sitting down and talking to them, letting them get comfortable with you so that they understand what risks there are in your business and how to help you best with on the money side, and make sure you have the right account set up, to make sure you have the right lines of credit, all the things that you might need as a small business owner. The next person you need on your team is an insurance broker. There's lots of risk in business. Some of it we can cover with legal structures and systems, but you always need to have someone between you and the customers the people out there that are actually out there trying to sue small business owners. And the way you do that is with insurance coverage. And so you need someone that's willing to sit down with you, understand you, how you tick, how you work, and then give you a list of coverages that here's what's possible. Here's everything you could do. And then you make decisions with them to prioritize what you can afford, right? Because you can't do everything.
No. And that's one thing that we've definitely learned in this show, that a lot of business owners are like, are you working in your business or on your business? Because you can't do everything. You have to learn how to delegate and have people that are well-trained and that you trust really to be successful.
That's exactly right. And then the last person on that team is you need a business coach. And when I say last, they could be first as well, but you need to have a business coach if you want to have real growth. I'm not saying you can't be successful without one, but if you really want to exponentially grow and scale a business, having someone that's already been where you want to go, that has a map and can help you, hold you accountable to action steps, is just so important. At least that's what I've found in my 18-year journey.
Okay, so 8 questions to ask in order to eliminate a signer's remorse. Some states have it where it's I don't know if it's federal or just by state, but you can have a 3 days where they can say, hey, you know what? I changed my mind. I want to take this back. What are the 8 steps that, questions to ask to try to eliminate that? Because nobody wants someone to return a product after they think they got a sale.
Correct. And so big picture, you want to make sure that everyone understands the deal points, right? You want to be very clear. And so the way you do that is whenever you have a contract in front of you, you want to take it and look at it from a perspective of, what do I want out of this contract? If it's for you personally, it's for your business, what do you want out of it? In a sentence or two, what's your goal for that contract? And then look through the contract, and does it achieve that goal? If it doesn't, don't do the deal. Okay. That's a real simple one right off the bat. The next thing is go through and look at all the place there are dates. And this is where I get an old-fashioned highlighter out and I start highlighting all the dates in yellow. And then when you look at the dates, there's going to be dates that you have to do stuff, dates they have to do stuff, and make sure that all the dates work with your game plan. You can do those dates, and if they perform on those dates, everything's going to be good. If not, you need to adjust the dates, right? Because that's the first place people get unhappy with these contracts, is because the dates don't work. The second place is the money. So now we're going to go through and highlight with maybe a pink highlighter and mark all the places that there's dollar signs. Same thing. Now, is that the dollar amount that we agreed to before we put this in writing? If it is, great. If not, let's adjust it. And then really you got to ask yourself, can I live with that number? Does it really work for me? Before you commit to that, whether you're receiving the money or paying the money, does that really work? Now that you're seeing it in writing, does it work? If it doesn't, kill the deal, don't move forward. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is make sure, and this is at the top of an agreement, there's a place where it names the parties to the agreement. Make sure that it has the right parties. A lot of business owners will make a mistake. They may already have their LLC in place, but they'll put their name at the top of that contract. And it's a real problem. So you want to make sure your company name's up there, and then make sure that you know who you're dealing with. Are you dealing with an individual? Are you dealing with a company? And make sure you have the right information at the top of that contract that identifies the right parties. And that will go a long way in making sure that you've got a deal that everyone's happy with if you have those down. Does that make sense?
And that makes absolute sense. That is, it's pretty good, because I think that's what a lot of people do. They forget about different things, and they just don't ask the right questions at the right time. And if they did, it could prevent a lot of things.
Yeah. And then the next thing I would look for is, does it have a dispute clause in it? And a dispute clause would be that if we disagree, if something goes wrong in this contract, what happens? The default, if there's not one, is litigation, and no one wants to go there. So you want to have an opportunity for mediation, where you take your case to a third party neutral that can help you resolve it without court, right? So you want to have a mediation clause in that contract. So if you look for that, if it's not there, ask to have it added. It's not complicated. Get that added into the contract. And then you could even go a step further and say, well, I don't want to litigate ever. I want to go to arbitration if we can't mediate. And you can have an arbitration clause in there. But by having how you handle disputes determined ahead of time, makes it much less likely that someone's going to be upset at a few days later, a week after, that they've signed this agreement because it's all been clear. We've got goals clear, dates clear, money's clear, disputes clear. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're really clear on what are your duties in this contract. Because sometimes it's more than paying money. Sometimes you have to actually do things. So look at those duties and are you okay with that? Can you actually do them? Do you want to do them? If you don't, stop, don't move forward. Don't pass go. Then look at from the other side, here's the things that the other party is supposed to do. Are they the right things? If they do those things, are you going to be happy? If you are, great, move forward. If not, you need to revise it or kill the deal. The last thing I would want to look for is what are the remedies in this contract? So if everything goes wrong, what happens? How much money would I have to pay if I messed up? What would they have to pay if they messed up? And that's called a remedy. And so is there a cap to it? Would I only owe as much money as the contract's worth, or could I owe many times more than the contract? And so if you get these basic 8 things down, your contract is 10 times more likely to be successful because you've got real clear agreement.
Sounds like your next point as far as the art of documenting the deal. Is that the whole premise right there about documenting the deal, keeping both sides honest?
Yeah. And so the art of documenting the deal would be...
Is that a little bit different than what you're talking about, or is it the same?
That you're going right there. So you can make agreements through email. Now, would I prefer you to have a lawyer draft up a formal document? Yes, every time. But sometimes you don't get there. You can do an agreement on email, but you have to go through these key points and have all the D points set out in the email, right? So you're doing these same kind of steps from the opposite side of now, instead of reviewing a contract, I'm putting the dates, I'm putting the dollars, I'm putting all these things on how we're going to do our deal. And then we're sending that to the other side and saying, do we have a deal based on these points? If they say yes, you've got a contract that is enforceable and you have documented the deal. A better way to do it might be do all those things and say, if you're in agreement with this, I'm going to have my lawyer create a formal agreement from it. But taking those small steps will take you light years ahead of where most business owners are, because a lot of people are still doing the old handshake deal. You just can't do that in today's world. You've got to document your deals.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. We do a lot of documentation in our deals because we do ERP sales, and that's critical because it's very easy. Sell said, and we were going to get this or that. And it's like, well, it's not part of the statement of work here. So we do a lot of documentation, recorded our demos, things like that kind of prove what we go over. Because when customers are looking at 4 or 5 different solutions, a lot of times what happens is they kind of get mixed up. So I guess let's talk about how one of your access plan clients avoided paying $20,000 thanks to legal code.
Yeah, and so that's right in line with what we've been talking about. The guy's name is Sean, and Sean was a brand new Access member and was about to sign a contract. And the contract was kind of a sponsorship deal. He was an influencer, and he went, wait, I've got Scott and his team. I don't sign this. I send it to them to review first. So he sends it in, and we, through our process, go through and mark the contract up, show him where the risks are in the agreement. And when he got it back, he was like, realized that if he had signed it, it would have cost him $20,000 that he wasn't aware of. He was just going to sign it. And by having us review it first, we were able to point that problem out to him. He didn't do the deal. And so it saved him $20,000.
Now, another thing is, why should you treat lawyers? Because everybody loves lawyers. We know that, right? Why should we treat lawyers like primary care providers instead of ER doctors?
Yeah, this is the reason we have our Access Legal subscription, which is basically on-demand legal services on a subscription basis for small business. Because I've been practicing law for 26 years. I had a problem that we would litigate a case for a client. They would call us when their business was on fire. We'd go into court. We'd preserve their rights. We would win. They would pay an exorbitant amount of legal fees to get that win. And at the end, they really weren't very happy. I mean, they didn't lose, but they still spent a bunch of money. And so they would go away and they go make the same mistakes again. They'd flip a coin, Google it, do anything but call their lawyer before they made that mistake. In almost every case that we've had to litigate, had they spent a couple $1,000s on lawyers up front, either side, they probably wouldn't have done the deal, or they would have done the deal differently and not had to end up in court. And so we needed to find a way for them to be proactive. So you're asking questions as they arise and making better decisions. I like to say that having the right information at the right time is often the difference between success and failure. An example of that would be, David, if you drove by my house and saw smoke coming out of the roof and just went home and then called me the next day and said, hey, Scott, I happened to be driving by your house yesterday and noticed smoke was coming out of the roof. Is everything okay? I would say, no, David, my house burned down. Thanks a lot for the information. But if you called me as soon as you saw it and said, Scott, there's smoke coming out of your roof, then I would have a chance to get everyone out of the house, get the fire department out there, and maybe save the house. Same information, wrong timing. And so you need, as a business owner, to be able to walk out of a meeting where someone's talking about something that makes you uncomfortable or that you don't understand the legal ramifications of, and call your legal team and say, hey, this is what's happening. What do I do right now? And if you can't do that, then you don't have the right information at the right time, and you're much more likely to end up in an emergency situation. We all know from our medical experience that emergency rooms are much more expensive than paying for a physical once a year and for spending time with your primary physician. And so we're asking our clients to let's spend time monthly, so we know what you're doing, we know how you're doing business. You're getting to ask us questions, we're asking you questions. We can avoid some of the big potholes of business, and instead just have minor things occur. Again, so we have a business that bends and doesn't break.
Yeah. No, that sounds so totally great. I mean, like, we just got, I think, a major crash course in, what's it been, about 15, 20 minutes about everything. So one of the stuff that I saw is that you are part of the official Zig Ziglar small business lawyer, Zig Ziglar legacy certified trainer, stuff like that. Did you work with Zig Ziglar when he was alive? And tell us a little bit about that.
No, I did not. I came on board a couple of years after Zig passed, and have worked with his son Tom and helped them carry on that legacy. They've been building new programs based on Zig's material and offering it in more modern ways, so that we can continue the lessons that Zig had with, he was so prolific with books and speaking, and he had such great wisdom that's still applicable today. And so I've had the privilege of working with the family to help preserve that legacy and carry it on. And it's just been amazing.
Wow, that is great. Yeah, we just had a couple weeks ago Joe Hart from Dale Carnegie, who's a CEO of Dale Carnegie, and he was talking about a lot of that stuff. So let's see. The other questions, I mean, right now, the economy, it's tough for a lot of industries. What type of advice do you have for businesses out there that are struggling?
This isn't if in an economy that's tightening, if that's where you are and it's affecting your industry, that's not the time to pull back. That's the time to work harder in your business, invest more, and be the person that's going all in. Because of the people that pull back and act scared, the economy will pass them by and they will be way behind. So don't act out of fear. Be smart. Put together some smart goals and plans so that you can take advantage of the market, because other business owners that are scared will not, and you'll have a major advantage. So spend effort on money on marketing. Put together good marketing plans. Measure your results. Don't just market with no plan or no way to measure it. You want to know what your rate of return is on your marketing, where your people are coming from. I just had a meeting with my marketing department today, and we were looking at, most of our traffic to our website now is 70% is coming from mobile, and we don't feel like it's optimized very well. So we're going to spend some money and resources optimizing the mobile side of our website so that we can get better conversion rates, because our bounce rate was too high. You've got to be looking at that stuff in a downward or tightening market, right? Don't cut back, but focus more, do things better. You can't be as as loosey-goosey as you were when money was flying. If it's tighter, you've got to make sure that your ship is in good shape and what you're doing is being measured, right? And those things that get measured tend to do better. If you don't watch it, they don't do well. So measure the things that are important to you. Know how many leads are coming in. Know how many appointments you're getting, for instance. How many are you converting into customers? Know your numbers better than anyone else. And that's the kind of focus you want to have as you're in this tightening market, and you'll come out a superstar.
You know, like if you listen to some of the talking heads out there, the economy is supposedly doing so great, but I'm telling you, like our industry, especially tech industry, ERP, like we're feeling it. It's a crunch. It's been very, very tough for us, and I think that's some solid advice that you just gave out.
I've had my firm, March will be 18 years. So I started my firm 2 years before the 2007 crash. And so I've been through it. Also went through the COVID downturn. And the more I focused on doing things right, the better my business did. There's with exceptions, there's generally always someone making money in your industry, and you need to be the one. And to do that, that means you have to do the little things right.
The little things sometimes are some of the more important things, I think, in business, because all those little things add up to be something bigger.
Small hinges swing big doors.
Oh, yeah, they do. So do you have any books, any shows? Like, how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, there's two ways. One would be to go to Instagram at the Scott Reib, and we release reels and videos 5 to 10 a week with legal tips that you can apply in your business immediately. And you can also message us there. And then we also have a page set up just for this show on our website at reiblaw.com, REIBLAW.com/Shark Bite Biz. And on that page, you have the ability to download a free ebook on some of these strategies we talked about. And there's a way for you to schedule a free 20-minute legal planning session with me to see if there's anything that I can help you do to tighten up your ship to make it through this time.
That sounds incredible. Thank you so much. We'll make sure that we have that link down below in the description. Scott, thank you so much for coming on, America's Legal Coach. Please go to the website. Again, it'll be down in the description. And Scott, I mean, this was just like drinking from a fire hose, man. You gave us so much good stuff to chew on.
Hey, thank you for having me. It was fun being shark bait.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Take care, my friend. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, that was a great interview with Scott, was it not? First, though, you know the routine. If you found this interview helpful, if it sparked those warm and fuzzies, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. But if you really want to help us out, because you know Shark Bite Biz is the greatest kept secret in the world of small business, please do us a favor, share us out to your friends, your families, your colleagues, anywhere that you dwell on the interwebs. I'd love nothing more than Scott Reib and Shark Bite Biz to be out there trending. And let's get back to our rockstar guest, Scott, okay? For a lawyer, Scott isn't half bad, is he? Okay, so let's put all the lawyer jokes aside. Seriously, he's got some amazing ways to help shatterproof your business, documenting deals, and make sure that, you know, the expectations and the framing, the framework of what the customer thinks is happening are completely clear. And, you know, in fact, my favorite topic of what we were discussing was about eliminating signer's remorse. We all hate when you go out, you close a deal, and then all of a sudden, a day later, they want to return it or stop it. And, you know, it's just like, what? And there's ways to eliminate that. And I think Scott really went through and kind of gave us some ideas on how to prevent that signer's remorse. Even in the ERP space, you know, where I work now with Stellar One Consulting, we get that. I don't know if we've gotten it at Stellar because I am new at Stellar, but I've gotten it in my past with other partners. And it's kind of like, bro, you just can't return a $500,000 piece of software. It doesn't work like that. And that's where I fall back. And I think Scott's ways, they're way better than mine. And it's very well defined, and it gives you a good framework and structure. And then you just kind of tweak it to make it fit your industry, product, and solution. So anyways, awesome stuff, Scott. Thank you so much for coming on, sharing your expertise, showing how you help businesses protect themselves while they grow. Please check out his website. I believe it's reiblaw.com. Link will be down below in the description. Question of the day, what a fun topic. After meeting Scott, has your opinion on lawyers changed? Let me know what you think. Again, leave a comment on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you can. That would be great. Do you want to be on the show? Interviews at sharkbitebiz.com. 2 more things. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube or our RSS feed with Spotify, you can join the channel. It is about $3 a month. And with the $3, you can become a baby shark. Every dollar that you spend towards our show is every dollar I spend on tech, every dollar I spend on ads, promoting, doing whatever I can to get the word of Shark Bite Biz, the gospel of Shark Bite Biz out there to everybody possible. And finally, again, this show would not be possible without our amazing sponsor, Stellar One Consulting. Thank you again. Remember, SAP partner, gold partner, Acumatica gold partner. Basically, if you're running QuickBooks, antiquated solution, you need that next step up. You need to start automating things. You want real-time business intelligence. Hit us up. Hit me up. I'll hook you up. David at sharkbitebiz.com. And basically, let's just get this rolling. Let's get you on a new modern solution that will help your business reach the stars. Anyways, I'm David Strausser. This is Shark Bite Biz. We'll see you all next episode. Cheers.
You just experienced Shark Bite Biz with David Strausser. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the show to help us spread the word about personal, professional, and business growth. Want to be on the show? Send an email to interviews@sharkbitebiz.com. Reach out for more info. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.